Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Anthony, and I hope you are all doing well and enjoying your footy wherever you are listening from. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Talking Everything AFL, where we break down all the big moments, the standout players, and the key talking points from each round of the AFL season. In today's episode, we are reviewing round 3 of the AFL season. I am going to go through the games, talk about how they played out, the key performers, the big momentum swings, and of course, hand out some Brownlow love to the best on ground in each match. Wherever you are, driving, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, and hopefully you enjoy the discussion. And just a quick reminder before we get into it, if you enjoy AFL content like this, I've got plenty more AFL footy stuff over my YouTube channel. So make sure you check it out and subscribe once you go onto your YouTube, type in one word, at Talking Everything AFL. All right, let's get stuck into round 3 that was played on the weekend. Game 1, Geelong versus Adelaide. Geelong defeated Adelaide Crows by 8 points. Final score, Geelong 10-8-68 defeated the Crows 9-6-60. This was really tight, hard-fought contest and one of the closest games of the round. Geelong managed to get the job done by 8 points, but it certainly wasn't easy. Adelaide brought pressure for most of the night and stayed right in the contest until the final minutes. The Cats were cleaner when it mattered most, especially come out defensive 50 and transitioning the ball forward. Their ability to control territory late in the game was probably the difference. Adelaide had their chances, especially in the third quarter, but just couldn't quite make Geelong pay on the scoreboard when they had momentum. Best on ground, Bailey Smith, 3 rows. The standout player he was, who was absolutely enormous. Smith finished with 40 disposals, 795 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. His work rate was unbelievable. He was everywhere, inside, outside, pushing forward, and working back defensively. The metres gained tell the story. He was constantly driving Geelong forward and breaking Adelaide's structure. When Geelong needed someone to step up in the big moments, Bailey Smith was that player. A clear best on ground and an easy 3 Brownlow votes. Game 2, Collingwood defeated GWS Giants by 33 points. Final score, Collingwood 13 goals, 9-87 defeated the Giants 7-12-54. Collingwood were back to their best in this one. From early in the game, the Pies brought their trademark pressure, speed, and ball movement, and the Giants really struggled to cope once Collingwood got on top. GWS had periods where they matched Collingwood in contested footy, but their inaccuracy in front of goal really hurt them. Collingwood, on the other hand, were far more efficient and ruthless when they went forward. Best on ground, Nick Dacos, 3 Brownlow votes. Once again, Nick Dacos showed why he's one of the very best players in the competition. Dacos finished with 39 disposals, 2 goals, 770 metres gained, 6 clearances, and 1 goal assist. He dominated all over the ground, whether it was winning the footy inside, spreading hard on the outside, or hitting the scoreboard himself. Dacos did it all. This was a complete midfield performance, damaging, clean, and influential. A clear 3 Brownlow votes and another reminder of how special a player he is. Game 3. Brisbane Lions defeated St Kilda Saints by 33 points. Final score, the Lions 17-11-113 defeated the Saints 11-14-80. Brisbane made a big statement in this match. After a fairly even first half, when there was only 1 goal kicked in the first quarter, the Lions took control after the main break and completely dominated the game through the midfield and half forward. St Kilda fought hard, but Brisbane's class, speed, and ball news eventually broke the game open. Once the Lions got a run on, the Saints simply couldn't stop them. Best on ground, Jared Berry with my 3 Brownlow votes. Berry was the standout performer, who was immense in the middle. Berry finished with 31 disposals, 1 goal, 600 metres gained, 2 clearances, and 2 goal assists. He was strong, composed, and influential at both ends of the ground. Berry's ability to win the ball and then use it efficiently going forward was a huge factor in Brisbane pulling away. A brilliant all-round performance and deserving of the 3 Brownlow votes. The fourth game, Fremantle defeated Richmond by 60 points. Final scores, the Dockers 15-13, 103, defeated the Tigers 6-7, 43. This one was all Fremantle. From the opening bounce, the Dockers were harder, cleaner, and far more organised. Richmond struggled to match Fremantle's pressure and intensity, and the gap between the two sides just kept growing as the game went on. Fremantle dominated contested ball, clearances, and inside 50s, and their defensive structure completely shut Richmond down. Best on ground, Caleb Sarong with my 3 Brownlow votes. Sarong was outstanding and controlled the game from start to finish. Sarong finished with 32 disposals, 2 goals, 579 metres gained, 9 clearances, and 1 goal assist. This was a midfield masterclass. Sarong was strong in the contest, damaging on the outside, and even hit the scoreboard himself. An elite performance and a very easy 3 Brownlow votes. The fifth game, North Melbourne defeated Essendon by 12 points. Final score, the Kangaroos 12-9-81 defeated the Bombers 10-9-69. This was a really impressive win for the Kangaroos. They brought energy, belief and pressure and stood up when the game was on the line. Essendon had their moments, but North were more consistent across 4 quarters. The Kangaroos midfield stood tall, especially late in the game, and their composure under pressure was a big reason they got over the line. Best on ground, Luke Davis-Uniacke, or LDU, got my 3 Brownlow votes. He was the star who led from the front. He finished with 31 disposals, 306 metres gained, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, and 1 goal assist. LDU was powerful, composed, and influential around the contest. When North needed someone to step up, he did exactly that. A match-winning performance and clear 3 Brownlow votes. Now for one of the thrillers of the round. Game 6, West Coast defeated Port Adelaide by just 2 points in an absolute nail-biter. The final score was 13 goals 14, 92 to Port Adelaide, 13 goals 12, 90. All down Eagles 2-point win. This was a tense, high-pressure game that went right down to the final moments. Port Adelaide had opportunities late, but could not quite convert, while West Coast showed great composure under pressure. Despite Port Adelaide's loss, the best player on the ground was Zach Butters. Butters finished with 3 disposals, 6 clearances, and 542 metres gained. Once again, showcasing his explosive power, elite foot skills, and ability to influence the game around stoppages. Even in defeat, Zach Butters stood out clearly as the most impactful player on the field, and he earns my 3 Brownlow votes. Jake Woolen was pretty close as he had 4 goals from 13 disposals. Finally, we wrap up round 3 with this matchup of Game 7 between Melbourne and Carlton. Melbourne defeated Carlton by 23 points with the final score of 15 goals 10-100 to the Blues, 11 goals 11-77. This game had a fascinating storyline. Carlton came out flying and led at quarter time, 38-1, a 37-point lead at quarter time, completely dominating early. However, Melbourne showed resilience, composure, and class, overrunning Carlton across the final 3 quarters. The Blues have been struggling in matches in the second half, and a couple of weeks ago, they scored only 1 goal in the second half against Richmond. But back to this game. The standout performer was Kozzy Pickup, who was sensational all game. Kozzy finished with 33 disposals, 1 goal, 6 clearances, 834 metres gained, and 3 goal assists. His speed, creativity, and ability to link play from defence to attack played a massive role in Melbourne's comeback. Kozzy Pickett was best on ground and earns my 3 Brownlow votes for this match. Just a quick mention as well, 4 teams had to bye in round 3, and they include the Gold Coast Suns, the Doggies, Sydney Swans, and Hawthorn. They will be back in action next round. Now, let's move into my top 3 Brownlow medal vote getters after round 3. In top spot with 9 votes is Aaron Dacos Collingwood. Nick Dacos sits on top for me right now. His consistency, influence, and ability to impact games both in the midfield and on the scoreboard have been elite. He's not just accumulating the ball, he's damaging, composed, and constantly driving his team forward. In second spot with 7 votes is H. Jeezel from North Melbourne. Harry Sheezel has been outstanding once again. His football IQ, clean ball news, and ability to read the play sets him apart. Week after week, he's proving why he's one of the smartest and most reliable young players in the competition. And to round out the top 3, in third spot with 6 votes is C. Petrarca of Gold Coast. Christian Petrarca rounds out my top 3. His power, explosiveness, and ability to turn games with bursts of brilliance make him one of the most dangerous midfielders in the AFL. When Petrarca gets going, Gold Coast lifts with him. However, he is expected to be out injured for up to 8 weeks with a hamstring tear. And that wraps up my review of the games played over the weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate you spending the time with me as we break down all the action, the big moments, the standout performance, and everything that shaped this round of footy. My name is Anthony, and I generally hope you enjoyed this episode. I love putting these together each week, and it means a lot to have people listening along and sharing the passion for the game. If you want more AFL content, more breakdowns, prediction, reactions, and all sorts of footy talk, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. Once you're on YouTube, it's all in one word, type at Talking Everything AFL. There's heaps of extra football stuff up there already and plenty more on the way. So if you enjoy this podcast, you will definitely enjoy the videos too. Thanks again for joining me for this round 2 review. Take care, enjoy your week, enjoy your footy, and I will see you next time on Talking Everything AFL.